Good morning everybody, how are we all? This fine Saturday morning, 28 degrees centigrade here this morning at 9 o'clock, so it's starting to warm up already. Hope you're all well. I'm going to be doing a little bit of casting today, so I thought we'd just cast a few more blanks at the same time as I've got a couple of smaller ones to cast for the tops of brushes. So we're going to cast them up this morning, and we'll probably do another 3 or 4 full brush blanks as well, just to fill in some time. So yeah, it's been a little while since we've done some casting on the stream, so yeah, we'll have a play with some colour and see if we can try something different for 1 or 2 of them, and we'll take it from there. Let me have a look at the stream, see who's in there. First up this morning, I'm imagining it'll be Brett. We've got Grey Dog in as well. Good morning, Grey Dog. Good morning, Brett. How are you fellas? All good, I hope. All good. So I'm still getting ready here. I went to grab some moulds out my casting box this morning and I had none. So I had to make a quick trip down to the big green shed, Bunnings, and buy some more tube and some more tape and a few other bits and pieces, and now we're right to go. But I'm just a little bit behind the 8 ball, so I'm just preparing a couple of little tubes here, just to cast in. Won't take us long. I've got the tubes all cut. It's just a case of putting some gaffer tape on the bottom. Good old gaffer tape, duct tape, whatever you want to call it. A little bit different with the epoxy resin because the epoxy resin doesn't shrink like the polyester that I used to use. So when I used to use these molds with the polyester, because the polyester shrunk, you could actually knock the blanks out and keep reusing the tubes. But what I'm finding with the epoxy now, because it doesn't shrink, I've basically pretty much got to throw these away after they get a casting out of them. Because a lot of the time, because it doesn't shrink, a lot of the time it's stuck and you can't get it out. So basically I have to cut up here with a bandsaw and then pry it open and then pop the blank out. And that's the only way I can get the blanks out. So once it's been cut, it's out around then, so you can't really reuse it. So I'm still on the hunt for some kind of plastic tubes or cups or something that would allow the resin to come out when it's cured, but be reusable. And failing that, the only other thing you could do would be to do some silicone molds, but you know, there'd be a fair bit of silicone used in making up a few of these molds, so it works out fairly cheap doing it this way, but it's just a little bit more timely and yeah, just a bit more fiddling around, but it's fairly cheap to do them, so I don't mind. So, you two are at it already. You can't see me, Brett. You guys giving each other stick already. Good stuff, I like to see it. Yeah. Well, the last couple of streams have held together okay, so I'm hoping that we don't have any issues, but now that I've spoken about it, let's see what happens. Touch wood, it doesn't. So for those that were in the stream the other night, Thursday night, I went up and picked up some more timber on Friday from that timber miller that I was telling you about. And yeah, he's got some beautiful stuff. So I picked up a few boards and bits and pieces for doing my wooden boxes. But I've taped it all up to keep it, and I've got it sitting on a flat surface over there. I've taped it all up to keep it sitting nice and flat, so it doesn't, it's all quarter sawn stuff, so it should be okay. That's the most stable timber that you can get. It's quarter sawn. So I'm hoping that'll do the job. Should do. That's what box making is all about, is quarter sawn. So I'll just finish off these ones and then we'll do those little ones. I've got 3 or 4 little ones there that I want to do up. And then we'll get started mixing up some resin, I think, eh? So that's 3 larger ones done. We'll just wrap another layer around the bottom of this one. Then we'll do those 3 little ones, and then we'll see how we go from there, right? Actually, I might wrap another one around that too, just for safety. That was an older one that had been done previously, but I'll just give it a secondary run. That should do it, I think. Maybe go over the bottom a couple of times. That should be alright. Right, we'll do these 3 little ones here, because that'll be the ones that I'll use for the so yeah, I would normally have had this done, guys, but like I said, I went in the box this morning and getting ready to go and getting set up, and there was nothing there. So quick trip down to Bunnings, picked up a few bits and pieces, some tape, some pipe, and a couple other little bits that I got from my boxes. I've ordered some nice solid brass hinges for the boxes, the wooden boxes as well, so they should get here sometime next week. Gone all right. Yeah, sorry to bore you with this stuff, guys. Like I said, normally it would be already done, but oh well, it's one of those things. We'll be there soon enough. Right, that'll do that one. Put a run around the side now. Right, 2 more, the little ones, and we're done. Quarter sawn lumber, yeah. All quarter sawn. Well, I think the majority is quarter sawn. There might be a couple of sticks that are slightly off quarter sawn, but most of it's quarter sawn, so it should be fairly stable. It's all good. Now let's run around. Yeah, I was showing the guys the other night, Grey Dog, I'm going to do some wooden boxes, some dovetailed wooden boxes. So I've been, I had a heap of timber out the back that I wanted to cut up for some time and just never ever got around to it. So I set aside a day last week, and I just milled resawed a lot of the stuff up, and then run it through the planer and the thicknesser, and it's all ready to go now to make some wooden boxes. So I've got a fair pile there, and I got onto a new fella that I found over west from where we are, and he's got his own mill and goes out and picks up his own timber, and he's got a massive big shed where he stores it all. So once he mills it up, he does his own drying in his shed, slices it and lets it dry for a long time, and then puts it up for sale. And I went up and picked up a few boards from him, already all dressed and made to size, so saves me having to mess around with it. But the stuff I done last week, I done all that here myself and prepared a heap, so I've got a heap of timber there now ready for box making. So yeah, so we might even, I was telling the guys on Thursday, we might even stream a little bit of that, the box making, the dovetail boxes. But I won't be hand cutting them. I'm going to use the Gifkins dovetail jig, which is made here in Australia. The design came from Roger Gifkin, who sold the business back several years ago now, and a fella by the name of Col Hosey took the business over, and he's now Mr. Gifkin. Australian design, Australian made and built. One of the easiest dovetail jigs I've ever come across. Does a beautiful job. Yeah. But now that you mention it, I was thinking there last night when I was sitting watching the TV with the missus and watching the cricket, and I was thinking of maybe doing a special limited edition on some brushes. So, you know, maybe do some 20 odd castings, say, the same colours, same thing. And then maybe pick a design for a handle, and maybe do a nice badger and a nice synthetic brush, and for each of the sets, maybe do 10 sets, badger and a synthetic. And I was thinking about doing a dovetail box and setting the two shaving brushes, the badger and the synthetic, into a really nice little wooden box, and doing them as a limited edition type thing. So, you know, I would only do 10 sets and then putting them up for sale, and yeah, just as a limited edition. They could be numbered 1 to 10, and yeah, I was thinking about that last night actually, but it's just a thought. We'll see how we go. Anyway, I'll put these scissors in this gaffer tape away, we shouldn't need that again, hopefully. And now we might be able to get in and do a little bit of casting, eh? What do you reckon? It's been a while since I've done some casting too. It was last year was our last one. Anyway. We're not there yet, Brett. We're not there yet, mate, but you'll be one of the first that'll let know. How's that sound? All right, let's get ready for this casting, eh? So, we've got some small cups here. We've got our normal measuring ones here. Let me just check that with that, just to make sure that we are right there. So yeah, that's pretty much right. So we need a few like that. So we'll get out a few and we'll just mark these up now. Yeah, we'll mark them up. So it was on the bottom, and then 1, 2, 4, 5th rib up. So 1 on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That rib there. We'll use the same cup each time to mark off. Oh well, I don't need to really, because it's they're all the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all I'm doing is just marking out for my 3:1 ratio in the epoxy. Because I know that pretty much fills those tubes. So that's us ready to go there, with a few cups anyway. Now, okie dokie. So I think what we'll do is we'll get these little ones out the way first. And I'm just going to pour them all the same colour, which is going to be a mix of golds. I do have an order for a brush. Actually, it's for putting on that it's for putting on this one, for putting on that mallee burl. So that was a piece of mallee burl that we done up the other night when we had that little mishap with the other, the rotten and spalted handle that we were doing. So this is the little piece of mallee. So this is going to have a gold piece put on the top. So that's what we're doing this gold one for anyway. Right, so I'll dig out my golds just so that we're ready to go. If I can find them, I think there's a few of them in here. Yep, there we go. So that's antique gold. We want a little bit of that. We'll want the brilliant gold, because I want it to be fairly bright. And we'll put a little bit of Aztec gold in there as well. But I think the majority of it will predominantly be the brilliant gold. So we've got brilliant gold, solid gold, and Aztec gold. And there should be an antique gold as well, somewhere there. unless that's still in the yeah, that's the antique gold, but I don't know if we'll go with that one. We'll leave it with the other ones, I think. That'll be fine. That'll get us started for this first one. I've got the pressure pot there ready to go. So we'll pour some resin in. That'll do that. I'd really like to give those syrup pumps a bit of a go and being able to measure out. You can get the 30mm ones, which is, you know, really what I'd need and use. Make things a lot easier for this type of thing. Oh, a little bit too much there. Hopefully that'll mix up okay. Just went a little bit too quick there. Too much hardener. I think that makes it soft. We'll see how we go. Yeah, just a bit too much hardener. I hope it turns out okay. I could put a little bit more just a touch more of this in just to help balance that out, I think. It means we'll have too much resin for the 3 little moulds, but it might help balance that out. Okay, so that's nicely mixed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 of these little cups, and we're going to mix some resin into there. Can you see all right in that shot, guys, or would you rather I change the shot? Oh, it should be all right. I think you've got a fairly good mix there. You've got the side table on and you've got the top down one, if I keep my big ugly head out the way. So yeah, we should be fine there, I think. Stick that there for now. We'll fill up. Well, not fill, but we'll put a bit into there, and then we'll put a bit in there, and they'll be the other golds, and the brilliant gold will go in the big one. So that'll be that one. I'll do that one. And this will do this one. Okay, so that's the gold's done. So let's mix it up. So there's one goal. This one's a real sort of metallic-y looking gold, this one. And then we'll see what this one does. This will be a darker sort of coloured one, but still gold. Thanks, though. Tap. My lovely wife has just brought me out a nice, cool, cold drink. Just keeping me hydrated. Yeah, it'll be all right up there. Yeah, the gold should be nice together, Grey Dog. I'll go back to that top shot. You can see more there. So this one's a really dark, sort of orangey gold, I would say. But I want it to be predominantly the brilliant gold. So, and I just want a little bit of colour change in it with these ones. And I've still got some pigment there that's not mixed in yet. See, I can see that volume peaking up, peaking up, peaking up. When I'm silent. If I just go dead silent, you'll hear that volume pick up, Brett. See, it's just continually climbing, and then when I speak and I stop speaking, it'll go straight back down again. Geez, this one's starting to get a bit of heat in it already. Mind you, it is pretty warm here today too, so hot and humid. Still got a bit to go though. I'm probably going to have too much of that, so I'll get my leftover cup here. Ready. Doesn't that look good? Aye. Just all the leftovers. And I think we'll be pouring very shortly because that one's getting quite hot. No? These ones are still cool, lesser amount. Okay. We got Amber in. How are you, Amber? Welcome back. We're doing a pour of golds here very shortly. So here we go, the 3 lilies. And I'm just going to pour, actually I'll start over here. And then we're going to pour a little bit of that dark one in there, just to change it up a little bit. quite getting that cup bent quite enough. So the resin's running down the side. There we go. So that's all right. Get a bit of this one in there. This one's quite close to the other one as far as colour, but it's a more metallic-y looking gold than the other darker one. Then we'll go a bit more of this. Mix that up a bit. There we go, dripping resin everywhere. Should put a mat on the table before I start pouring, shouldn't I? And then we'll put this one on. And then we'll just top them up with this one before it starts to gel. And they can go in the pot. Let's top that one up, that one a little bit as well, and that one's pretty much full. So they can all go in the pot now. Right, we'll see how they turn out. So we'll get the lid on. We'll put the air over that side. There. Actually, probably more there, I think. And we'll get that on. And I think I got to turn off something here. So we'll go there. And we'll go there. there. Excuse me. Yeah, the waste cup should come up quite nice, I think, although it's got some funny colours in it, but there is some nice interesting stuff in there too, so yeah. So we'll just sit that there for a minute, we'll let that dry. That's now rubbish. And we'll just drizzle this one in if it's not already set. Take that one out for a minute. Get this one. It's a big blank, but like in diameter, but yeah, we can turn that down, no bother. Mix a bit of the other colour through that now. And we're done. I'll just set that one up because there is still a little bit more in there that will come out. So, there we are, there's the first gold castings in there. Fingers crossed that that hardener doesn't affect it, because I just put in a little bit too much. But hopefully putting a little bit more resin in will cure that, hopefully. Right. So we'll put that in the bin, get another clean towel or two, and we'll get ready for our next one, I suppose. Ah, gold silver flake, yeah. I was actually going to try and put some in that, but I don't think I've got any gold in a sparkly. But it's too late now anyway. Nah, we'll stick with that. That should be good. Okay, that'll do that. Right, now let's do some colours or tints, or what do we think? Now, so I think we tried those larger flakes in one of the other handles, and I think the larger flakes sunk to the bottom, so I'd have to probably add it just before it's ready to start really gelling, to actually get them suspended in the resin, I think. With those flakes that I got. Or we'd need to paint those flakes onto something. But what I might try here is we might try some purple tint with some Prince Purple, sparkly stuff. So there's the sparkly stuff. It's quite a fine one, this one. And we've just got some purple tint. And we'll try that and we'll see how that goes. Although we'd probably want a solid bottom on it. So what we might do there is we might go with some solid purple, Lux Blue Violet, and that's the purple. So we might try a mix of that on the bottom for the first part. So yeah, so we'll use another cup as well. And we'll probably use a couple of these. So we'll see what we're going to do here. Okay, so that'll be our mixing cups there. That'll be for our clear to start with. So we got that. Alright, let's try and get the mix right this time. It's because I get used to pouring the resin, which is a little bit thicker, and the hardener's just like water. It comes out much quicker, so I just need to be mindful of that. Stop. That'll do it. Right, let's start mixy. What have we got here? So Amber's got some gold and silver flakes, good. Green and more green, that's what your suggestion would be, Brett, wouldn't it? Right, let me get this mixed up and start pouring and mixing colours. I can sit that up there out the way for now. Might have another drink. Ah, that's better. Right, tip these up. So what I want is I want a fair bit of solid on the bottom, say. Actually, I might not use them, I might use another cup. Because I want a nice amount of solid on the bottom, which will be the top of the handle. Okay, so let's see how we go with mixing this up. Bring that over a touch for you guys. Right, so let me just pour some into here. Alright, so that's about half and half. And then what I'm going to do, so that will be the solid. This will start to be some of the tint with the sparkle. And I can probably put let me just think about that. We might get another plastic cup. And I'll just drop a little bit more of this one into there. Right, so we can go there, there, and there. Now we're going to put some nice sparkly into here. Look at this, this is really fine. Oh, beautiful, look at that. And I'm going to put a little bit off, just off the stick into that one there. That'll do us. Now let's see what happens with this. I'm hoping that that really fine will suspend in the resin and not all just sink to the bottom. But we may need to wait until the that thickens a little bit. Oh no, it's looks like it's staying suspended, so we'll see how we go with that. Now we'll put the purple tint into this one. And we'll mix that up and see how that comes up. So I want to use that stick. Nigel, how are you, buddy? Happy New Year, mate. It's been a while since we've caught up with Nigel. So this has got a little bit of sparkle in it, not a lot, just what was on the paddle pot stick. But we need more of the coloured tint, maybe because I didn't shake it. I think these need a good shaking before you put them in. So we'll give it a good shake. Now we'll try another couple of drops. Yeah, what a difference, look at that. Must remember, gotta shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. There, now we've got nice purple. Right, so we've got our clear or our purple tint. We've got clear with purple sparkly bits in it, which looks nice. You're probably not going to see it too well there, but it seems to be suspending in the resin. Okay, and this one we're going to drop a little bit of Luxe blue, but just a tiny little amount. And I'm also going to put a little bit of purple in it. Right. Yeah, that fine glitter is actually suspending in that clear resin really well, so I'm happy with that. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what I wanted to happen. I wanted it to suspend. Let me get this stick out. And I'm hoping that it'll stay like that. I mean, it will go into the purple tint a little bit, because they'll be the last two we'll be pouring in. Right, let's see how this one goes. So I want this blue to be the solid section, bluey purple to be the solid section of the top of the handle when we pour it. And then we're going to pour those other two in right at the end. And I'm going to wait until this really thickens up or starts to thicken up before I put it into the mould, so that when we do eventually pour the transparent stuff in, it doesn't just go to the bottom. We want it a little bit mixed in with this, but not too much. That's good. Good to hear, Nigel. All's well. Fantastic. We had a fairly slow start to the year. We only done our first, I think we streamed a couple of weeks back. But then we ended up with an issue with my internet provider again. I just totally lost uploads, so we lost the stream. That was the first one. Then I've done another, I think I've done another one or two. This might be the second one or the third one. And so far, so good. They've been good. No dramas, no real dramas. So we finished a rotten, spalted piece of timber with a little bit of gold resin in it. You might have seen the picture I put up on the Facebook page and Instagram. That come up quite nice. And we just finished doing a couple of gold pieces for the top of handles. They're for a customer order, so they're in the pressure pot at the moment. Oh, actually I never put the pressure pot under pressure. Oh, dearie me. Probably be too late now. You can feel the heat in the pot. Should be okay with this heat anyway, because I wouldn't think there'd be bubbles in the resin. Leave it at that. See how we go. Jeez, I forgot about that. That was silly. Oh well. I think it'll be fine because it was fairly fluid. So you can see that's more sort of bluey, but it's got the purple in it as well. Then we've got the purple tint, which is just a clear tint. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it, as you can see in the bottom there, the purple sparkle. And then this one is clear resin with just sparkle in it, and it's suspending in the resin beautifully. So hopefully we'll see a bit of that through the handle when it gets cast. I can put that so with most of my casting stuff, I mean most of it, some of it's planned and some of it's trial and error. Some of it's just experimenting, and we get something nice out of it. I think the heat here today is obviously going to impact on the curing time for the resin as well, because we've got that hotter ambient temp to start with. The resin's kept out here, so it's at that ambient temp, which today, I mean, we were 28 degrees centigrade this morning at 9 o'clock when I checked. So yeah. Well, one can only hope, Amber. One can only hope. We'll try it and we'll see how it looks. Hopefully, we can get the separation that we want from the solid to the. I mean, I do want it to blend a little bit, but I want the bottom of the handle to have a translucent, sparkly bit, you know, on the bottom, or from the bottom up into the top. So we'll see. It's quite nice. It's nice when you see it against the white. When you hold it up, it doesn't look quite so nice with the sparkly stuff in it, but hopefully that'll change once it goes into the mold. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this into the mold now and just let it, oh actually I'll leave it a bit longer. Still fairly viscous, so just don't want it to start gelling on me. (22 Fahrenheit). Whoa! I'm not sure if the temperature's gone up now, but when I checked it, like I said, at 9 o'clock, it was 28 degrees C. It's still showing 28, but I think it's more than 28. Actually, it's saying 29 now, so certainly feels hotter than that. I'll need to get a thermometer out in the shed here. Actually, I want to get one of those temperature guns, one of those infrared temperature ones, because they're handy for measuring the temperature of the resin. So you know when you're getting close to having to pour. So I might have to invest in one of them when I get enough pennies saved up. Because you can just shoot that into the top of the cup and it will tell you what temperature it's sitting at in the cup. And then you get to know what temperature you want the resin to be at before you pour. And I think we're getting fairly close now, so I'm going to get ready to pour one. I mean, it still feels relatively fluidy, but once it starts to go, it goes. So I think we'll pour the crux of this one in there. Actually, I'll put the lot in. Hope we got enough resin. We should have, hopefully. Because that's not even half filled the mould. Don't tell me I've got my measurements wrong for these moulds. I hope not. I certainly hope not. If we have, I'll have to do another bit on the top after. Although I think when we poured it, we had equal amounts in there, so we should fall just a little bit shy of the top, I think. Hopefully, all going well. Yeah, that's starting to thicken, so I'm going to have to pour. So I'm going to pour this in off a couple of sticks because I don't want it to sort of mix in too strongly. So I'm just softening that resin landing on top of the solid stuff. And I think we've managed that. So I'm going to just sit these on there now. We'll get rid of that. And we'll get this one happening. And I'm going to just pour this one into that other translucent one now. I think we are going to be short of resin here, guys, so oh, we're going to go close. We're going to go close. I would have liked it a little bit closer to the top. But we shall see how we go with that. So that cup's done, dusted. We'll get the last out of this one if we can. You can see the sparkle in the top of that already. So hopefully we've achieved what we wanted to achieve there. And we'll just grab the last of this and we'll put this in as well. It's not going to hurt it. Yeah, it's just a pity, just a little bit short. I would have liked to have seen it right up the top. But I think we've still got heaps enough to get a full height handle out of it. So should be good. And I think we'll put it in the pot now. So that'll give us an opportunity to see how those other ones have gone. How are we doing in there, guys? All good? You're hanging in there? Right, so that gets rid of that one. We'll release the air. See if those ones have gone off, which they have. So we can bring those gold ones out. That's good. I was a little bit worried they were going to have a curing issue, but they've turned out well. So we'll get this one in there now. Make sure they're really tight, and then we'll plop a bit of air in there. So you can just see the pressure pot on camera, can't you? Actually you can't, but if I go to that one you can just see it off to the side here. So and that's us. So there's the gold ones we just done. So they're all cured. Very hot though, so I'm not going to hold them in my hand for too long. We'll go back to camera 3. So there's the gold ones that we've just done, and they're for the tops of handles. So yeah, they've come up quite nice with the different coloured golds in it, the 3 different colours. So we had Solar, Aztec and Brilliant Gold mixed into those. And one of them will go on the one of them is going to go on the end of this piece of barrel. Yeah, it should look quite nice. The guy that's getting this one also got another one with a brown mallee barrel, and it had a green top on it, with a couple of different colours, greens in it. So that should, he's going to have his green and gold and his Aussie barrels on each handle. So yeah, quite nice. So that's them done and out the way, so we'll sit them aside somewhere for now. I'll just sit them up here on the table saw, on the bandsaw, sorry, and I'll give these ones a bit of a wipe off so that we can reuse them for mixing epoxy or something. Not that they cost much to buy, but waste not, want not, eh? Razor, good morning to you, mate. How are you? Yeah, you're good, mate. You just drop in when you can, and it's no problems, buddy. Okay, so that's that one done. What are we going to do next, guys? What are we going to do next? Right. Thinking caps on, come on. We'll get another 1 or 2 done and then we'll call it a day. We've been going for an hour 20. An hour 23 actually, so nearly an hour 25. So we can at least get another 1 or 2 done. All good, buddy, all good, no problems at all. Right, get a bit more resin in, and then we'll think about colours before we put the hardener in. Red amber. Red, blood red. I don't think I've got any red, to be honest. Oh, I've got some solid bright red, which is a paste pigment. Oh, actually, I've got, I should have some in my new ones, shouldn't I? They must be in another box. Actually, here they are. Here they are. We should try these, eh? Let me have a look. You're going to love some of these ones, Amber. I don't think you've seen these yet. There we go. Metallic red. We'll try that. And we might try let me think. I wonder if I've got, well, I've got red tint. I'm just wondering whether I've got something red in a sparkly. It's not going to float to the bottom. We might try some of these azalea flakes. I don't know how it'll go though, because they might be too heavy and sink to the bottom, but we'll try them anyway. Right, so we've got red in here. That's purplish red. Let me have a look, see if we've got a red. We should have a red in here. Red, there we go. So we'll do something similar, I think. We'll mix up if I can get the paper off the top. Doesn't want to play the game. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we've got this, what's called metallic red, which I only got these tail end of last year. And I haven't tried them properly yet. So we might give that a go. And we'll see how that pans out. So we'll have red tint with some azalea, which is more a purpley colour, but they're bigger flakes. I don't know how they're going to go, but we'll try it. No harm in experimenting, aye. Well, and again, we'll put the solid red to the bottom, and then we'll put some tint with some of the azalea. So, let's put the hardener in, carefully. And that should do the hardener. We'll give that a good mix up. Check my air in here. That's good. That'll do it. Make sure we get a good mix on this. Corbs, how are you, buddy? Happy New Year to you, mate. I think the last time we seen you on the stream was back in 2020, mate. I think, from memory. Not that it matters. But I hope you had a good Christmas with the kids, mate, and good New Year. I occasionally see some of the pictures you put up. I've seen your kids were doing a bit of dressage with the horses, mate. Pop up on my Facebook every now and again. Right, I think that's nicely mixed. Keep saying I'm going to get one of those little swirly ones for my battery drill, but it's probably more hassle than it's worth. It's something else to clean up, isn't it? Right, so I think that'll give us enough mix. The fan's blowing the cups over. So I think this time I'll only need the 1 cup. What I think I'll do is I'll put the solid red, metallic-y red in the bottom again, and then we will mix up some of the red tint, and we'll keep that fairly light on with tint. We won't make it too dark. So I think I can probably get rid of that. We can put them back on there so we've got more space on the table here. And we'll pour so much of this into there. And I want to have a mix that's going to give me enough to the bottom of the handle, which will be the top of the handle once it's turned. But I want to have a fairly so I think we'll go that way. So we'll make that the solid metallic red. So let me give that a good shake up. And we'll give this one a good shake up. Shake, 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 da 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 da, shake, 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 da 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 da. My man boobs are not jumping around too much, are they? Right, so we've got red tint and red metallic. So I haven't used these metallic ones yet, so it'll be interesting to see how that looks. Grey Dog's away to basketball. Good on you, mate. Good to see you in the stream again, buddy, and hope it goes well at the basketball for you, and we'll catch you next time, mate. Right, so let's see what happens here. So that was 2 splashes. Oh. Well, unless it needs more, but I can't see that that's, it's not solid, it's still fairly, well, a little bit see-through, so we might need another couple of drops in there. I don't see what's metallic about it at this stage. But we'll try another couple of drops. Messy stuff. Now I'm going to have red all over my hands. I'll never get it off for days. So that's the metallic. Now we've put a bit more in. So we'll give that a mix and we'll see if that sort of darkens it down. It's darkened it down, but I don't see what they're saying about metallic. I'm not getting any metallic look off it. It still looks fairly translucent, actually. But we'll see what we get. It's experimenting. You got it, Brett, you got it. Oh mate, you made a jig to do box joints last week, yeah. Mate, if you're into box making and stuff like that, dovetails and stuff, call Hosey, Gifkin Dovetails on YouTube. He does a stream every Sunday using the Gifkin Dovetail jigs. I'm going to also be streaming using the Gifkin Dovetail jigs, the Gifkin Dovetail jigs on my streams. I'm going to be making a couple of wooden boxes over the coming weeks. So yeah, tune in for that one, mate. Makes nice easy work of dovetails. So I've been stocking up, I'll show you at the end of the stream, near the end of the stream, but I've been stocking up and milling a lot of timber that I've had sitting here for a number of years. And I went up yesterday actually and bought some more off another fella over west side of Brisbane. So I'm going to show them at the end of the stream just so the guys can see some of the nice timber. It has got a little bit of a look to it, starting to come through in it now, this red, so it may be okay. And it does look a little bit different to the normal clear sort of stuff. I'll switch back to the other camera in a take. Yeah, well the Gifkin jig makes them really easy, mate, but it's pretty expensive to set yourself up. I've got all the jigs here for it, but you can start slowly and slowly build your kit up as well. But check out Gifkin's Dovetails or Gifkin Dovetails. Like I said, he streams every Sunday. He's on YouTube. I think he's based in Coffs Harbour, but he does some beautiful little boxes. He normally does all the wood shows, but because the wood shows have been sort of few and far between with COVID, it's been a bit difficult. So he's reverted to doing live streaming like what I'm doing here on YouTube. We'll get some of this stuff. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how this stuff's going to go because they're kind of large flakes. I'm not going to put a lot of them in. So I'll put you to the other camera now. So you can see we've got some red sparkly flakes in there, which are bigger. So far they seem to be suspending, but we won't really know until such times as we pull out the mould and go to turn it as to whether they stay suspended or whether they sink to the bottom. If I can get the resin thick enough, then we might have a good chance of getting them to stay suspended, but we shall see. I'm still failing to see, it is a little bit different, but I'm still failing to see what's metallic-y about this red. There is a little bit of a different look in it, but it's not. Nothing special from what I can see. I might put a little bit more of the red metallic in there. And those larger particles do seem to be staying suspended, so I hope that's how they stay in the handle. So there's another 4 drops in there. Let's see what happens there. Jesus, that cup's getting hot. You see the sparkly bits? Right, I think what I'll do is I'll pour that red in. Still looks very see-through though. I wouldn't have thought you'd have to put that much into, maybe it needs a bit more. Certainly making it more solid, but it still doesn't look, 100% solid colour. I think we're going to have to start thinking about pouring shortly, because that is getting scorching hot. And I think if I leave it much longer, it's going to start gelling on me for sure. So we'll get the red one in first. And I'm going to leave that just sit there like that for now. Keep that out the way. I'm going to let this go a little bit longer. Boy, that's getting hot. Move my fingers up the cup. Yep, we're there. We're going to start pouring. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a nice sort of rubbery mess shortly. Beautiful. We made that one. So we'll get my, not that there's much left in that anyway. We'll just sit that there for now and let that dry, and then we'll put the other one in. Yeah, we just got that one in time there. You can actually see it's starting to gel. So we're good there. That's all we need. That one can go back up. We didn't need it. And I'll just set that off to the side there now. Right, let me just flick back to there for a sec. So that's looking quite nice if it stays that way. Let's see if that one's, yep, that's gone off. Get this one in now. Get that under pressure. tighten it up. And we'll shove some air in it. And that should do. That'll do it. Okay. Well, we can see the sparkly bits in it, that's for sure. But one will never know how good the blank's going to look until we get it out of here, which won't be today. But anyway, that's that one done, so we'll stick that one over there beside the gold ones. Now, let me put these away. Now, I think we might have a play with these ones. We might try some of these different metallic ones and try mixing a few of them up and see how they look for this next one. And then I think after that one, I think that'll do us for the day. What do you reckon? Because we did get a, I'll get rid of this before we end up making a mess with that, and I'll get rid of that. Okay, let me go to there. So we had that red. So we've got a lot of nice bits and pieces in this box. Different powders and dyes and pigments, and these are all wood dyes. Metal complex dyes, these ones. Very expensive, but they're strong, but they're good for colouring timber. Amber's gone. See you, Amber, no problems at all. Right, oh, we see we've got more of these little sparkly glitters here as well, really fine ones. We could have probably, there probably is a gold one here that we could have put in with that other stuff that we done. Not to worry, next time. Anyway, let me see what other ones we got here. So that's a copper. Metallic blue, black, oh, fluorescence. Let's try some fluoros. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put a mix of fluoros in this one. I reckon that'll be nice. We've got fluorescent blue. Oh, look Brett, fluorescent green. There's all sorts of fluorescence in here. That's candy red. So we've got candy colours in here as well. Fluorescent hot lips. Oh, Sunkiss. Well, that's very similar to that other one, so we won't use that one. Fluorescent pink. That'll do us for the last one. We'll do a mix of all those. She's going to be one bright handle, isn't she? But Be interesting to see how these ones mix up. So we'll put these powders and dyes back in there so we don't lose them. And I know where they are then. Right. So we need to take this crunchy paper off these. Get my little knife. I think we're losing everybody. I think we're down to about 4. So we'll definitely make this the last one. A fluoro red and green would make a nice candy apple. Yeah, well, I've actually got candy colours in there as well. So there might even be a candy apple, Nigel. I'd have to go through them and just check and see what colours are actually there. These are new ones that I tried from another supplier where I get my resin and stuff. And I just thought, well, you just never know, because sometimes you can get different looks from different pigments. So I thought, oh well, we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. Because until you try them, you really don't know what you're going to get as an end result. So it's all a case of experimenting, and then if you see what happens, you can make changes, or you can put other colours in with them to get them the way you want them to look, you know. So let's get another piece of paper towel down for this last one. I'll sit these ones along there now because they're actually finished now. That was our 3 little gold ones. That other one will come out the pot when we put this one in, and then this one will come out later. We got some more marked ones? Yeah, I think we have. There's marked ones, marked ones, marked ones. Okay, actually we'll take one of them. And we'll use the little cups for this one, I think. So we've got 5 colours, so we'll need 4 of them probably. Plus this one. Yeah, so there's the fluoros we're going to put in. Nice mix of colours, so it'll be a very bright, in-your-face one. But the colours should go okay, I think. There's probably even a yeah, I'm thinking we might need a little bit of yellow on that as well, so we'll go with the yellow one as well. We might take out the pink. We'll take out the pink. So we'll stick with those 5 colours. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 there. This will be 5. That's our mould. We'll need those sticks. So these will all need a good shake up. because they haven't been used. And I'm presuming that, yep, that's good. They don't have any other inner cap on them. So we'll give them all a good shake up before we start to use them. And I'm hoping these should be nice and bright. After all, they are meant to be fluoros, so they certainly look pretty fluoro. A fluoro green black? Black's not fluoro though. This green, this fluoro green, this one, that fluoro green with black. I'll do this full fluoro colour one, and then if you still want a black, a fluoro green and black, we'll do a fluoro green and black, and that'll be the last one for the day. That'll take us pushing 2.5, 3 hours. Okie dokie, let's pour some resin. We've got our cups ready. As long as the wind doesn't blow them away. I've got the fan running over the far side. I don't get much from it because it's too far away, plus the lights are in the way. So, but anyway, it moves the air around. Stops it building up and getting too hot, I suppose. Right, that'll do that. Give that a little wipe. Now, bit of hardener. Jam fluoro colours, yeah mate. These should pop, that's for sure. A little bit more, just a touch. Right, let's give that a mix up. Doing not too bad, my hands are fairly clean, considering. I should wear gloves, but I hate wearing gloves in this heat. Your hands sweat to buggery and so we'll put these on camera 3 again so you can see head down. So there's the ones we've done this morning with the other one in the pot. So these ones are just tops for handle blanks, the gold ones. And then we've got the this nice blue purple with the purpley glitter in it. And if I look into that, I mean I can see glitter in it, but I don't think the camera would pick it up at this point. It's probably too dark, not getting enough light. Oh, you can see a little bit sparkly there. But it's a beautiful colour. Be interesting to see what the lower section's like. So once I cut that out the moulds, I'll show you them in the next stream, which will be on Thursday night. And then we're moving the Thursday night to a Tuesday night probably. So it'll be Tuesday stream, it'll be Saturday morning and Tuesdays. Tuesday night at 6 o'clock our time, Queensland time. And Saturday morning 9 o'clock Queensland time. We're going to mix it up a bit this year. We're not just going to do totally shaving brushes, we're going to mix up shaving brushes with casting. And I'm going to try and do some box making on here as well. And it's sort of like starting at the beginning for me again with the box making, because it's been a long time since I've done anything like that. So yeah, so it'll be interesting. I may make a few mistakes along the way, but that's can only be expected, I suppose. But I've got some stop hinges coming next week, hopefully. I'll show you my timber at the end of this, the end of the casting. If you've got time, and we've still got a few in there, I'll show you some of the timber I've picked up for the boxes. Some really nice stuff. Right, I think that will be enough mixing. So what we'll do now is we'll pour this into the smaller cups, and what we've got left in this cup will be the fifth colour, whichever one that may be. So let's pour these, and I'll need to move fairly quickly with this because this resin, with the ambient heat being up at what it is today, the resin wants to go off much quicker than it normally would. So so there's 3. And I think when we put it into all these different cups with the different colours, I think it reduces the amount we actually get in the mould, because you're having to clean up with 4 cups as well, or 5 cups. So fluoro, here we go. So fluoro blue. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, they're not as solid as I would like them to be. Maybe I just need to put more in. So we'll put another couple of drops in, I think. One, 2, 3. Right. We'll give that a good mix. Still looks too clear to me. Not solid in colour. But we'll keep going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, don't spill them. So that was 7 drops in that green, and it's still, you can still see the paddle pop stick in it, so they're not real solid colours. What are you making, Cobbs? What are you planning on making? What are you using the timber for? Right, let's mix them up, see what we end up with. Yeah, they're not solid, that's for sure. They are fluoro, but they're not solid. Oh yes, yes, I know what you're talking about. There's a fair bit of work in that, but once you get the technique down pat, you can make it really easy and really quick. It's just laminating your boards and then gluing them together, and then it's the way you cut them and the way you alternate the pattern. They're quite effective though. They look nice if they're done right, and a nice finish on it. They come up real nice. So I'm just putting a little bit more colour in each of these guys, just to see if we can solid the colour up a little bit. Because they still look fairly clear. So we'll give them another mix up, and then I think we'll start pouring. It is going to be what it is. It's going to be somewhat not solid, it will be kind of clear, well, tinted I guess, but not quite as clear tinted. It will be a darker tint, I think. And who knows what's going to happen once the colours go together, because I've never used these pigments, so the colour's still not solid for me. They're certainly fluoro colours though, but just not strong solid colour. Might, if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, have a look at the Carbotech one. They've got a multi-purpose one, which is it's a planer and a thicknesser, and it's, from all accounts, what I've heard so far, it's a really nice machine, and it does both jobs in the one machine. Have a look at it. I don't know how much it'll cost, but it's a beautiful little machine, and it's a Carbotech. But it's a multi-purpose thicknesser planer. And there's another guy that I watch on YouTube now and again, and he's got one, and he absolutely loves it. And he's another woodworker. So even putting that extra 3 drops in that I just did there, it still doesn't look like a solid colour to me. Once we turn that and turn it to a shape for a handle, and then we drill out for the knot, you're actually going to see through that. So they're not solid colours, which is a shame, because I would have liked them to have been solid fluoros. But they'll have the use in different handles, so all is not lost. Even although it cost me a bit of money to buy these, but because I bought a whole heap of things together. Right, I think we're going to start pouring regardless, because this is getting scorching hot. I don't know how this one's going to go, lads. And I think we might call it a day after this one, Brett. I think it's getting too hot out here. Oh, that cup's spun in my bloody hand. Right, let's go, eh? So we'll put a little bit blue in. I want to try and keep these cups on that mat so I don't get stuff everywhere. Boy, oh boy, they're hot. I think this might just blend into a yucky, messy mix of colour. But I can't do much about it and take my time, because it's going to start going off on me real quick, this. Yeah, I'm going to have to pour the whole lot of the blue in, because the blue is going gel. Yeah, she's starting to gel. You can see it stringing out of me, so we'll need to get the other ones in now. Otherwise we're going to lose them. Yep, she's going off in the mould as I speak. You see it frothing? Yep, there she goes, see? She just goes to gel. And we've got a bit of overflow there as well. So we need to get that straight in the pot. This one's going to go off, I think. We're lucky if we can get this one, save this one. Let it go too far. It's getting too hot. As once she goes, you can't do nothing about it. We'll get it in there. I don't know if we'll get it back into the mould though. I think she's gone too far. I think that one will be a bin job, this one that we just put in. It's just getting too hot now. Right, get the air on. Well, that one ended up a little bit of a mess. You can see they've gone off in the cup. Just gelled up, all of them. Just too hot. Just too hot. But we got that red one out that we just done, and it's again, I can't take it out the mould, but yeah, we've got a lot of clear in there, and hopefully we've got the, you know, you can't really see too much. You can see a couple of little sparkly glittery bits in there floating around. The red or the purple glitter that we used in there. So hopefully we'll get a nice effect in the lower section of that handle. So yeah, so we've got a nice blue and a nice red, and we've got our gold ones there that we've done today. And the one that's in there, but I think that one that's in there will be a reject. It'll be a bin job for sure, I'd say. Just with the way the resin started to gel and go off before we got it into the pressure pot. So, let me just give my hands a wipe, and I'll show you some of this timber that I got. For those that are interested, that is. I might clear some of this stuff off of here as well before I bring the timber over so I can show you it properly. So that's our casting morning for this morning. Not too bad. I mean, really the only ones that I really had to get done were the gold ones. And I only really needed one of them, but I thought, well, we might as well mix up enough, and I'll do 3 because the gold is a nice colour on the top of a handle. So it gives me some spares to put in stock, and I can use them on handles in the stream or whatever. So we'll get rid of that again. Multicoloured poo, yeah, you're not wrong, Nigel, I'll tell you. It probably will turn out like poo as well. Which is a shame, because I was actually seeing the colours in it when I was getting close to the top of the mould, and it was actually starting to look quite nice. But then it started to fizz up and bubble up, and part of the curing process, it gets really hot. And unless you've got it in the pressure pot, that tends to keep the bubbles out and stops it from foaming like that, keeps it solid. But anyway, it is what it is. If it's a bin job, it's no big deal. I'll just have a little bit of a quick wipe and clean up here, because I reuse these ones for my epoxy now. My glue, that's my adhesive glue epoxy. No need to keep throwing them all out all the time. And it's not because I'm a tight Scotsman, before somebody says it. It's just minimising waste and looking after the planet, as people would say. Okay, that can go in the bin. Right, let me put these pigments away, and we'll clear up this top of this lathe, and I'll bring some of my timber over and show you some of the nice timber I got. So this is not timber for brushes, it's timber for making some wooden boxes, which we're going to be doing in the stream as well. So, just for something different. And you'll be learning, anybody that watches the stream through for the wooden boxes, you'll be learning along with me learning again, because it's been a while since I've done any of this kind of stuff, so we can help each other. Right, we'll put all this stuff in here, out the way again. My little resin pigment box. Yeah, they can go back in there, they'll be alright. Can reuse that. So that's that. We can put them in there. And I think that's it. We'll get rid of them over here at the way for now. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that red and blue one out the mould actually. I think it'll be quite nice. So let me have a drink. Oh, I'll move that pressure pot out the way too shortly. Oh, something else I done the other day. When I done my apprenticeship many moons ago, when I was an apprentice and I was building up my toolkit, back then a Yankee screwdriver was a big thing, and a lot of tradespeople, hand tools trade people, were still using them. They were a big part of your toolkit, a Yankee screwdriver, because we didn't have battery drills and all that sort of stuff then. It was all electric drills. And anyway, my Yankee screwdriver that I've had, I bought it when I was doing my apprenticeship, so it would be a good, we'd have to be a good 40 odd years old now. And anyway, the handle split, and that's probably got more to do with lack of use. I'd been fairly abused lying in bottoms of toolboxes, and probably the change of climate and everything wouldn't have helped it here too. The fact that it came from Scotland many years ago. So anyway, when I realised that it was all cracked and broken and split, I thought, I've got to make a new handle for it, and I'd been saying I was going to make a new handle for it for God knows how long, never got round to it. So anyway, I got round to it the other day, so I made a new handle, so here it is. There's my Yankee screwdriver. Good old Yankee. There you go. It's got a Phillips head screwdriver bit in it at the moment. I've got some slotted ones there for it as well. And it's got reverse. That's reverse. Lock it in. Bring it down. That's forward. Lock it in. Put it in the middle. And it's just a normal screwdriver. You can release it out and it locks it then if it's in the middle. Bring it back around. Bring it to there. And she's back to using it. And there's the new handle. So it was just a scrap piece of wood that I had lying around, and I thought, well, might as well make a new one for it. So there she is. And I just used half of this as sort of as a template for it. So I got it reasonably close enough that it's you know, it's now a usable screwdriver again. I still like the old Yankee screwdriver. So yeah, so there it is, guys. That's my new, well, my old 40-odd-year-old Yankee screwdriver has now been given a new lease of life. So I've cleaned it all up, lubricated the spiral inside, and she's working like a beauty, like a new one, eh? Like a beauty. Look at that. So there you go, fellas. New screwdriver, new tool handle. What a treat. Just turned it on the lathe here, and yeah, come up a treat. Anyway, now I can throw these bits in the bin because I no longer need them. That's my knife away. Let's get rid of these clamps here. If I can get in to get them out. I normally use my other clamps for this, but I'm using them on something else at the moment, so I couldn't, I just had to use those. There we go, that'll be better. Now I'll get it. So, that's another thing, Cobbs, you'll need clamps, mate. Wood clamps, and lots of them. Right, let me bring over my little small bundle here first, because I got a large bundle and a smaller bundle. I'll cut my tape off just to show you, because the grain in these, you need to see it. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'll re-tape them up when I'm finished, because my wife will probably want to see them too. So these bits are mainly going to be for tops, for box tops. They're a little bit wider than the boards for making the sides and the front and back for your wooden boxes. So these are a bit wider, so they're good for just making the top section for your box. So what have we got here? Nice piece of silky. So what I'll do is I'll go on to camera 3 and I'll zoom that in so you can see the grind. Not probably too much. Let me take it back a bit. So yeah, so there's a nice piece of silky oak. And these are all quarter sawn, by the way. So the quarter sawn timber is the best timber to use for wooden boxes. It's more stable than any other cut from the timber. So you always want to try and get quarter sawn timber for your wooden boxes, because then they won't cup or bow or pull in different directions. So that's a nice piece. This piece is red silky oak, and it's absolutely beautiful. That's going to make one stunning top for a piece of wood. You know, Look at it, it's just absolutely beautiful. And it was that nice I had to get myself another piece. So another piece of red silky oak. And the red silky oak, you don't see a lot of that around. Normal silky oak you do, like this one here, you see a fair bit. But this has got some nice figure in it too. It's hard for the camera to pick it up. You might be able to see it there, the figure. So it's got some nice figure. It's not just plain silky. And then that's red silky oak, the one that you're seeing in front of you there. And then this is another piece of, this is actually another piece of timber that, you know, some people could mistake it for silky oak, but it's actually not silky oak, it's prickly ash. But it looks similar to silky oak as far as grain. It's probably, yeah, it is very, very close, but you can see it's got a different sort of grain pattern in it to the other silky. And again, all quarter sawn. So nice pieces of wood. And this is a nice piece of camphor. It's not rich in colour, I wouldn't call it rich in colour, but it's quite a nice piece. And it should make a nice top. So, yeah. And then this is forest oak. So again, a really nice timber. It's got a bit of a crack in here, but that's inherent of the a lot of the Australian oaks. They're very hard, very brittle, so they do tend to get a lot of cracks and splits in them. But that'll get cut off the end, and then that'll probably get put, because it's slightly narrower, this one, I'll probably end up putting another coloured timber around this one to make the lid out of this using this piece. So that'll be the main feature piece in the lid, but it will have some lighter timber or something around it as well. So yeah, so that's those pieces. And at the moment I have them taped up because I want them to try and dry fairly straight. So I wrap the tape around it to keep the boards all together, and keep a little bit of tension on them just to stop them twisting or warping. Now that they've been dressed, basically they're just cut to length for the sides and the back and front of the box, the base of the box, the top of the box, and machined and sanded and finished and put together. So so that's that lot. Then I got these ones as well, which is a longer, much longer, so these will be for the front and the back and the sides. And again, I've got a lot of different species. So again, I'll take the tape off and I'll let you see them. I'll retape them up again once I'm finished. Now you can put stickers, what they call stickers, between them. So just little slithers of timber. And what that does is it allows the air, I mean these are dry anyway, but it allows the air to get between the boards so that the boards dry more evenly. But because these are dry, I've just sort of bundled them together. But if you're ever in any doubt if the wood's dry enough, always sticker it, stack it and band it. And you'll keep it straighter for longer, much longer. Okay, so I'll just put the individual boards down on camera 3 and just let you have a look at them. So this is jacaranda. So it's a fairly plain timber. It's got a little bit of grain and a little bit of figure in it, if I can get that into the camera. There you can see, so there's some figuring through here as well. They'll sand up nice and finish up nice. But it's a much longer board, this one. So that'll be a nice contrasting timber with some of the other timber. Now this one I really like. This is what's called coachwood. And if I take it away, it's a really different colour to the usual. But you can see it's got a lovely grain in it. So that's Coachwood, and I've got a couple of pieces of that in here. This one here is Queensland Maple. So again, it's a fairly long board. Queensland Maples comes up really nice. You can see it's got a nice dark line through here. Sort of like a spalting line, but it's not actually spalted. It's just something that's happened in the tree. But Queensland Maple gets a lot of shimmer in it, and a lot of, you know, if you get a bit of figure through it, it can be quite nice. So that's Queensland Maple. This piece is Queensland Maple as well, so you probably don't want to sort of see another piece, but it's quite a nice piece. Just something different. And then I've got another couple of pieces of camphor here, but this camphor's quite nice in the fact that it's got the two, you know, the heartwood and the sapwood. So we've got that nice contrast of the really rich colour with the white yellowy of the camphor, you know. So I've got a couple of boards of that as well. So that's one, there's the other one. And they're, like I said, they're quite long boards, as you can probably see. If I put, actually I'll put picture in picture, just give me 2 seconds, I'll change the camera. So I'll put picture in picture, I'll put to the full screen shot so you can see the length of the boards as I hold them up to you. So there you are. You can see the length, and then in the main shot you can see the colour of the board. So there's a couple of little flaws in this one. There's like a little bit of a hairline crack in there, but I'll just have to make sure that I cut that out. It doesn't go all the way through, so I don't know whether it's just a surface sort of fault line in the timber, or, but anyway, you know, I'll probably try and see if I can cut it out, but the rest of it's quite nice. And then this is another piece of silky, I think this one. Is it silky? Yeah, silky, this one. And again, it's got some nice figure in it. You can see there's a nice sort of figure part there. So again, it's hard to see the colour properly, but you know, quite nice. What's this one? Oh, this is red ash. This is a nice piece actually. So it's got some nice figure in it. Nice grain, it's a nice colour. You can see the timber changes colour. And timbers do, as they, you know, as they're exposed to light, a lot of them will darken down. Just let me get the and this one is sassafras. So in the little picture you'll see it's got a very yellow sort of look to it. It's a fairly plain grind, but it's sassafras, and you can see it's actually got a little bit of the black starting to happen and that you see in sassafras, but it's unusual that it's got such a yellow colour to it. And the grain's quite nice, like it's got some quite nice grain in it. And this, I think this is I think this is New Guinea rosewood. Yeah, it is New Guinea rosewood. So it's beautiful. It's got some really nice colour and grain in it. So that's New Guinea rosewood there. So you can see the colour in that. I think this is another piece. Oh, this is blackwood, this one. So this is Australian blackwood. And again, it's got a nice rich colour to it. You can see the grain in there. And this is another piece of coach wood. It's absolutely beautiful. I really like this timber, right? And this, they do say it's nice to work with as well. Coach wood. But you can see that grind. Look at that. There's a fault line there, so that'll have to get cut out, which is unfortunate because that's a nice figured piece there. Unless I can fill it with something. Glue and sawdust, maybe. We'll see. It doesn't, again, it doesn't go all the way through. So if you look at the other side, there's no flaw on the other side. It's just on that surface side there. So it's maybe just a little stress fracture or something in the timber. But we'll see what we can do with that anyway. And then this is blackwood also, I think. Yeah. Yep, another 2 pieces of blackwood. So you can see there. Again, nice colour, nice grain. Blackwood's quite hard as well. It's got a lot of silica in it normally. So it does tend to dull your tools fairly quickly. But the grain, and once it's finished sanded and polished up, oiled and waxed, it does tend to come up really nice looking. So yeah, so that was what I went up and bought yesterday. So I was fairly pleased with that. The guy does have a lot of other really nice stuff as well, which I'm going to keep in touch with him about. So so look, we've got a fair bit of timber there for box making, and that's the plan. We're going to do some wooden boxes in the stream. So where the lathe is currently, I'll bring my table router across. We'll park it in front of the lathe where I'm standing now. Still leaves me room to work behind the router bench, and I'll do the preparing of the timber, like cutting it to length and size. I mean, it's basically machined to size now, but I need to cut it to length that I want to use for the front, the back, the sides, the bottom and the top. So I'll do all that sort of offline and get it ready for the stream. And then all the dovetailing and putting the box together, and all that sort of thing, fitting the hinges and stuff, I'll do on the stream here. Now my other bundles that I machined up, I did sort of show these the other day, but I'll show them again. But what I'll do this time is I'll split them open, and then I'll retape them just so that you can see what I've got, because this has got some nice stuff in it too. This was timber that I've been storing for a number of years, and I was always going to get round to milling it up and never ever got round to it. So I made a point last week. I said, right, I'm going to do that, because it's not cheap to buy timber now, especially if you want nice stuff like this. It gets pretty pricey, so I decided I had all this there, so I thought, well, I might as well start chopping it up. So I did, and this is the end results. So I run all this through my planer here, and then thicknesser, and now they're ready to be used. So the top 3 are, let me just go back down on that top shot. So these ones are Tasmanian myrtle burl. So you can see it's got the bird's eye in it and a lot of figure in the timber. You can see my face mark there with my bottom edge as being the edge that's been trued up already. So I've got 3 of them. I'll put them in again after. So these were all cut from the same piece, so they're pretty much replications. The piece all the way through. So you can see there. So I've got 3 of them. There's the other one. There's the other one there. Quite nice. Should be nice when it's all finished. Then I've got some red cedar, and it's really rich red cedar, as you can see there. Beautiful colour. There's another piece. Really dark. Look at the colour in that. Isn't that beautiful? Red cedar. Absolutely stunning. I've got quite a few of them, so I will be using them in some of my boxes. Look at that. You don't see red cedar like that too often these days. It's all light in colour and doesn't have the nice grain in it like this stuff has got. So again, you can see more of the same, and it's nice and dark. More. There's quite a few boards of the red. I'm going to use a fair bit of that. Especially with the lighter coloured timbers, it looks nice. There's another one, and you can see it's got a little bit of a light. I mean, that's what you see a lot of the cedar in now. It's just really light. It's more the sapwood colour. Then I've got a couple of wider boards, so again, this can probably be used for tops. So that's a nice wider piece. And then we go down to this highly figured blackwood. So it's got a lot of figure. You can see the fiddleback through there. So something and up through here. So again, some nice wood, nice colour, nice grain. But like I said, blackwood is a hard wood to work with, so it's very brittle. You can see the chatoyance in that there as I flick that in the camera. See how the colour changes? You get that chatoyance. And that's the figure, the fiddleback in the blackwood. It's almost like holographic, isn't it? You look at that, how it changes under the light. And there's a few more boards of that. There's another piece, and again, a lot of fiddleback through it. Right through. More, and again, more fiddleback. So again, more of the same. You can see the light catching the grind there. Absolutely stunning. Another piece. Actually, I think there's another 3 pieces of that there. So I've got quite a bit of the blackwood, and it's all got that really strong fiddleback in it. Just puts once it's all sanded up, it just puts a real shimmer to the wood, you know. It's finished properly. There's the last piece. And then I got some more Tasmanian martel. And again, it's got some beautiful figure and grain in it, as you can see there. A lot of little bird's eye type detail in it as well. Again, it goes all the way through the board. And another one. Another piece of martel, the same. And again, most of them were cut from the same pieces of wood that I had. So I just basically resaw it into oversized thick boards on the bandsaw, and then run it through the planer to flatten one surface and one edge. And then from there, you put that face down in the thicknesser, and then slowly bring it down to the size that you want. So these boards are all 12mm and 10mm. That's what I've machined them down to. And then I've done some bigger boards that I had as well, which are these ones. So I'll show you these as well, and then that'll be that'll be the end of the stream. Because I've got some nice stuff in here too. And this, again, this is stuff that I cut up the other day. Took me a whole day, basically, to take all the big lumps that I had, saw them down into oversized thickness boards on the bandsaw, and like I said, then do a face surface and an edge on the thicknesser, on the planer, sorry, and then run that through the thicknesser to get it to a flat, both sides, plain piece of timber. So again, we've got, didn't cut that one. So we've got some of the same, but there's a couple of really nice pieces in here which they look like silky, but they may not be silky, because there is another couple of timbers that look similar to silky, and I'm just not sure. So I'm probably going to have to do a little bit more research to find out what they are, but I'll show you them. So that's a couple of bits of red cedar on top again, so nice rich colour cedar, and as you can see they're quite long boards as well, so you know, I'll get a box out of each one of those. So they're nice and long, and this one is a spectacular looking piece. Probably doesn't look too much in the camera there, but the grain in it is absolutely phenomenal. Now I think this is probably silky, but it's just a beautiful piece of silky. And it came from a piece that I bought off a fella. It was his grandfather, in his grandfather's shed, and his grandfather had obviously passed away some years ago. And I bought it, and I've had it for a few years now, but it was a rotten old scabby looking piece of wood until I cut it up, and it was absolutely beautiful. And again, it would have been really old timber. You don't see the colour and the grain in it now to the fresh timber that we get cut up now. This is really old stuff, and there's an even better piece on the bottom. But I'm not sure again if that's actually 100% silky, but anyway, that's that piece, and again, it's a decent sized board, so again, can either be, it's a bit wider, so it can be used for lids or for fronts, backs, sides, whatever. There's another piece, so that came from the same piece, so that gives me, you know, two good pieces there with some beautiful figure, lovely grain. And this one's a real standout as far as colour in grain, and this is called Rengas. Now I don't know what its botanical name is, but that's its common name, I believe. I don't even know where it comes from. I bought it off a guy again, just a big lump of timber, and I resawed it and got these three pieces, sorry. So I got the three pieces from it, and I've cleaned up the edge and, you know, milled it and flattened it. It's very, very brittle though, probably even worse than blackwood. And you can see there, like that chipped out on the planer. It planed everything perfectly, but just a piece here chipped. It just didn't like the grain. So it tends to do that. It's really, really hard. I'm not sure if it has much of a silica content in it, so I don't know if it will blunt in tools and stuff, but being really hard, most of the really hard timbers do blunt in your tools. But again, you can see there's some beautiful colour and some beautiful grain in that timber there. Well, just look at that. Isn't it beautiful? So yeah, there's a bit there, and then we've got some black heart sassafras. So again, you can see it's the different colour to the other piece that I showed you, which was yellow. These ones are totally different again. This is more like your normal type sassafras. And again, there's a few defects like knots. There's a couple of knots there, so they'll have to be taken out. There's another knot on the end here. Again, that'll have to be, you know, that'll have to be taken out, but I can use the rest of that board, you know, and get a nice feature piece for a lid. And I've got two of them out of the one piece of board, so that's that one. And then there's another one here which has got more of the black in it than the last piece, so you'll see there's a lot more of that black in it. That's the black sassafras. So again, some nice timber, and it's nice wide boards that, so again I should be able to get feature lids out of that. But this piece is the piece that I really like. Look at the grain in that. Isn't that spectacular? And the colour, it's so rich. Now, I don't know if this is, I don't think this is silky oak because it's got a red in it. It might be one of the other oaks. I'll have to do research on it and try and find out, you know, what it is. But this was another old piece that I got from that old guy. And I think he used to dabble in making a bit of furniture in his younger days, and obviously passed away, and obviously his family didn't know what to do with the timber, so they sold it out, and I bought a couple of pieces, and they were absolutely spectacular when I got inside them. On the outside they looked shitty, but inside they just looked absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so there you go. So there's my timber ventures over the last few days. So I've got a massive big pile, the timber there now. Go back to there, and yeah, so there's heaps and heaps of timber, long boards, you know, short boards for boxes, and because some boxes, you know, what you might want to do is you might want to have a lighter timber on the side panels, and then you might want a darker timber on the front and back, so you can chop and change, mix the different timbers up to do your different style of boxes. But anyway guys, that's it from me for today. It's certainly been a long stream. We've gone just over 3 hours now, done a little bit of casting. I'm really looking forward to inspecting these ones a lot more, because I think they're going to look quite special inside actually, once we get them out of the mould. They've still got a fair bit of heat in them, so they're cured on top pretty much, and on the bottom, so they'll be able to come out the mould probably later today or maybe tomorrow. And yeah, I could probably actually release that other one out now too, and see if it is a flop. I'd say it'll be a flop. I might just do that now while I've still got yous online, and we'll then we'll call it a day. Just bear with me. So I'll put yous back to the main shot. We'll release the air from the pressure pot. And then I'm going to sticker these up again and tape them up so that they stay as flat as possible. We'll release these clamps. Oh geez, I must have tightened them right up. Oh dear. There we go. I'd say this one will be an absolute flop though, which is a shame because it was actually looking quite nice. Yeah, it's a flop. Ah. Oh yeah, nah, it should be a flop for sure. We got the colour, we got the colours in it, but it's ended up an absolute mess. It's just gone off. It feels solid in the bottom, so I might be able to get a top out of it or something like that. It'll depend on how far up it comes before it started to fizz up and bubble up. So that's still fairly soft. Yeah, still fairly soft there, but it will harden up soon enough now that it's out. So anyway guys, that's it from me. So we got a few castings. The main thing is I got the gold ones that I needed to get done, which were those ones. They've come up quite nice. So they're done and dusted now, and we've got a couple there that we can play around with, making a couple of handles, see how they come out. And yeah, I look forward to actually starting doing a little bit of the box making on stream as well, just for something different and a little bit more interesting. But anyway, we'll talk to you all again soon. We'll be back Thursday night now. We're only doing the 2 a week now, so it'll be Thursday night this week and Saturday morning. And then after this week, we're probably going to change the Thursday one to a Tuesday night, because it conflicts, Thursday night conflicts with some of my SES training. So it'll be probably Saturdays and Tuesdays from here on in that we'll be doing the streams. So if you're around and you're able to tune in. And yeah, you're all welcome. Let me just have a quick look at the chat. Yeah, multicoloured poo, Nigel, you weren't wrong, mate. It did turn out like a big bloody poo. Yes, Brett, copper wire, mate, yeah. Two Scotsmen fighting over a copper coin, yeah. Yeah, nice timber, eh? I'll pop you a message, Corbs, and you can contact the guy direct. I'll give you an indication as to how much I paid for that couple of bundles that I bought. They were the two first bundles that I showed you, the lid ones and the longer boards. So I'll send you some details, mate. If you drop me a message via Facebook or something, and I'll reply to you and let you know. I'll send you the guy's details, so you've got his details, eh? You can contact him, and he's got tons and tons of timber, mate. He's a miller himself, and he sells the timber out, but it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than what you would get it anywhere else for, so it's worth the getting the good stuff. Nigel, thanks for dropping back in, mate. Much appreciated, and we'll see you in some of the future ones, eh? Thanks, Brett. We'll catch you later. Thanks everybody for being in there. We'll catch you later. I'm going to shut the shed door down now and end the stream. So stay safe. Be good. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. We'll see you on Thursday, eh? Cheers. See ya.